If you are in the market for a 2022 or a 2023 Honda Civic and you're thinking to yourself, should I buy the sedan or should I buy the hatchback? That is the point of today's video, to tell you what the differences are and maybe help you to make a decision on which model is best for you. Both models share the same 107.7-inch wheelbase. And in case you're saying, Tom, what exactly is wheelbase? Wheelbase is the distance from the center of one wheel to the center of the other. And while this is the case concerning wheelbase being the same between the sedan and the hatchback, the sedan is actually 4.9 inches longer. But while the sedan may be a little bit longer in overall length, you have more cargo capacity by quite a bit here with the hatchback. What are the numbers? With the sedan, 14.8 cubic feet. And when you fold these seats flat here in the rear area, you maximize your cargo capacity with the hatchback up to 24.5 cubic feet. There's also a built-in cover within the hatch rear window right here itself. There's also a retractable cover that you can put in place or move out of the way depending on what your situation is as well, and a nice protective cover here, kind of a cargo tray of sorts to keep the carpet underneath nice and safe. And speaking of that, for those of you who are not fans of the tire repair kits, good news. Underneath the floor is a spare tire and all the tools to change that tire if you ever need to. Nice to know that that is here. And if you're looking for an overall look between the two models of the Civic that maybe has the more sporty design, well, the sweeping rear design definitely brings that to the table. It also makes this model of the Civic look longer, but based on what I've already shared with you, you know that isn't really true. And there are two other areas of minor differences between the sedan and the hatchback. With the hatchback, you will find that the front grille design is a little bit different, as are the rear tail lights. And speaking of lights, let's talk about what you have here. LED headlights, LED fog lights, and LED rear tail lights. This is the Sport Touring trim level, in case you were wondering. And there are three common questions that I often get on these vehicles that I'm going to answer for you right now in case you're the person asking those. Question number one, does the remote have remote start built into it? The answer to that question is yes. Question number two, are there turn signal indicators built into the side view mirrors? Yes, there are. These are heated side view mirrors, by the way, heated power side view mirrors, but manually folding. And question number three that I'm often asked, not Austin asked, but often asked, at least here at Holmes Honda, because they add window tint to these vehicles after they come in, what are the percentages of window tint? Here on the front windshield, you will find 40%. On the side windows, you will find 25%, and on the rear, you will find 12%. And if you're wondering, what exactly does all of that mean, Tom? Those numbers are the percentages of light that is allowed through the windows after the window tint is added. And no, I'm not going to forget to tell you about what's under the hood. There's actually two options available. The standard option is the 2-liter 4-cylinder that's naturally aspirated. It makes 158 horsepower and 138 pounds-feet of torque. You also have, well, what we have right here, the 1.5-liter turbocharged engine that makes 180 horsepower and 177 pounds-feet of torque. And in this case, it's mated to a CVT, or continuously variable single-speed transmission. That is an option. But on the hatchback with the Sport and Sport Touring trim levels, good news for those of you who want to save the manuals, you still have that option available with the manual 6-speed. And on this particular car, with this engine combination and the transmission that's in it, what about MPGs? Those are very important numbers. Let's talk about exactly what those are. 30 miles per gallon city, 37 out on the highway, 33 combined, and I think this is a very impressive number. Honda says per every 100 miles you drive, you should use 3 gallons of gas. And how about space in the rear seat? Well, I don't have a whole lot of space above my head, but to be honest, I do have a little bit, maybe an inch or so. But at 5'10", I do fit back here, at least with where the seat is set right now. That's going to obviously depend from one person to the next who's driving. And you do have the built-in cup holders with the fold-down armrest right here, and there are 2 USB ports. I'm still waiting to see somebody put 3 USB ports in the rear seating area, because there is room for 3 people back here to sit. No air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console, I don't think that's an issue here because you don't have a very large interior. You also have the standard size sunroof. Tell Honda down in the comments section if you would like to see a panoramic sunroof option at some point in the future. You know, I had to let you hear the music, I guess, when you get in. So we're gonna hit the push button start. And for those of you who might be saying, hey Tom, by this point in the video, you have typically told us or shown us the dealership screenshot from the website what the price is. This unit is already sold, so I couldn't show you the screenshot, but the price on this 2022 Honda Civic Hatchback Sport Touring with Sonic Gray exterior and black interior is $31,540. A very nice looking digital instrument cluster. Plenty of good information there. You've got your digital speedometer and analog speedometer and tachometer there. You can also see if somebody's seat belt isn't buckled, among other things, on the dashboard. Nice looking instrument cluster there, that's for sure. Steering wheel mounted controls. You've got all of your great features here you would expect. You do have these shifter paddles to kind of give that mimicking of shifting through gears, even though obviously you don't shift through gears with a single speed CVT, but that is there. One thing I really like here, the infotainment system. This is a 9-inch screen on this particular model. It has all of the features you would expect to see, very responsive to the touch of your finger. You also have built-in navigation. I like that. And something else that I like here that has really improved from previous generations, when you put the car in reverse and the backup camera comes up, there's that multi-view camera. I'm showing you what that looks like on there. I like the fact that it responds instantly when you change from one view to the next. And the overall design of the dashboard, kind of interesting. You wouldn't know where the air conditioning vents were necessarily if it weren't for the adjustments there to change the position and direction of the air conditioning vents themselves. You do have dual zone climate control. All of your controls right there, very easy to use and figure out. A couple of USB ports and a 12 volt. You also have a wireless charging pad. And for those of you who are not fans of push button shifters, good news. You have the conventional style shifter right here and multiple driving modes, by the way. I'll show you that on the screen. You have normal, you have Econ, and you have Sport, and you have a graphic that goes with each one. That looks really nice. I like that for sure. And your center console here, tell me what you think about it if you own one of these 2022 or a 2023 Civic, depending on when you watch the video. Would you like to see this center console that doubles as a lid for the console and the armrest for the driver and the passenger? Would you like to see that sit up a little bit higher maybe? Tell me what you think. Also, quite a bit of space down there within the center console itself. And what about the driving experience of this Civic? Honda made some significant changes that really changed what it's like to drive. And those changes include retuned suspension and a retuned chassis. It literally feels like the Civic is sucking itself down to the ground when you're driving down the road. It's quite an experience if you haven't had it yet. It makes it feel more powerful than it really is in some ways, just because it handles so incredibly well and everything works great. Easy to drive, handling is superb, the nice steering wheel is comfortable, and it's just very responsive. I like that. It feels a lot more sporty than it really is, so it kind of gives you that feel of if you want to go out and drive spiritedly, it's absolutely no problem. And the CVT behaves very, very well. Not something we can say with every single CVT of previous years on any vehicle. So now that I've done all the talking, it's time for you to speak up. Well, maybe to type up or use voice recognition on your cell phone. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. Which version of the 2022 Honda Civic is better, the hatchback or the sedan? And tell me why you gave the answer that you did. I gotta say a special thanks to my buddy Steven here at Holmes Honda, Stephen Bryan, for loaning me the keys, the remote to this model for the day so I could show it to you. It's actually a pre-sold unit, so I'm really appreciative of the opportunity. I also appreciate each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to know more about additional vehicles beyond this Civic hatchback, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.